Have you ever wondered how many people around the world go to bed hungry each night? As we speak, countless individuals are grappling with the harsh reality of poverty. It's a global issue that transcends borders and demographics, affecting people from all walks of life. Even in this era of unprecedented technological advancement and wealth creation, poverty continues to be a persistent problem. It's a paradox that many find hard to comprehend. How is it possible that in a world where we can connect with someone thousands of miles away instantly, we still struggle to provide basic necessities to a significant portion of our population? Despite the progress we've made, poverty remains an invisible monster, often hidden in plain sight. It's a silent enemy, impacting the lives of those around us more often than we realize. It's not just a third world issue, but a global one that requires our collective attention. The truth is, poverty is a reality for billions of people in the world. To visualize the scope of poverty, we need to delve into the numbers. Let's paint a picture with some stark facts. Globally, over 700 million people live in extreme poverty. That's more than twice the population of the United States, or around 1 in every 10 people on Earth. Among these, a heartbreaking proportion are children. Almost half of the world's extremely poor are under the age of 18. Think about that for a moment. Every second child in extreme poverty is still in the early chapters of their life, their potential stifled by the harsh realities of poverty. But what does extreme poverty look like? The World Bank defines it as living on less than $1.90 a day. That's less than the cost of a cup of coffee in many parts of the world. Imagine having to stretch that amount to cover all your needs: food, shelter, education, healthcare, and more. It's a reality that nearly 10% of the world's population grapples with every day. Now let's zoom into one of the wealthiest nations on the planet, the United States. Despite its affluence, over 38 million people, including 16 million children, live in poverty. That's roughly 1 in every 8 persons. This is not a problem confined to developing nations. It's a global issue that affects us all. Europe is not immune either. Over 20% of its population is at risk of poverty or social exclusion. That's about 1 in every 5 people. These figures are staggering, but they are more than just numbers on a page. They represent individuals, families, communities wrestling with the realities of poverty. Lives filled with hardship, uncertainty, and often despair. Yet within these numbers also lie stories of resilience, of people battling against the odds. Stories that remind us that change is possible, that poverty is not an insurmountable problem. These numbers are not just statistics, they represent real people with real struggles. But what does it really mean to live in poverty? It goes beyond simple lack of money. When we peel back the layers of poverty, we uncover a host of challenges that extend far beyond just an empty wallet. One of the most immediate consequences of poverty is poor health. Limited access to nutritious food, clean water, and healthcare can lead to malnutrition, disease, and a shorter lifespan. It's a harsh reality that those living in poverty are often the most vulnerable to health issues, yet the least equipped to combat them. But the impact of poverty doesn't stop at physical health. Let's talk about education. A lack of resources often means limited access to quality education. Without a solid educational foundation, children growing up in poverty may struggle academically, limiting their potential for future success. It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. It's bound to collapse sooner rather than later. And then, there's the issue of work opportunities. With limited education and skills, finding meaningful and well-paying work becomes a Herculean task. It's a cruel irony. Those who need work the most often have the hardest time finding it. This lack of opportunities can trap individuals and families in a relentless cycle of poverty, making it incredibly difficult to break free and chart a new course. But here's the thing. Poverty isn't just an individual's problem, it's a societal one too. It creates a ripple effect, impacting communities and even entire countries. It hampers economic growth, fuels crime, and breeds social unrest. It's a cycle that's hard to break, but not impossible. So let's remember, poverty isn't just about an empty wallet. It's about health. It's about education. It's about opportunities. It's about potential that's never realized, dreams that are never chased, and lives that are never fully lived. Poverty isn't just about lack of wealth, it's about lack of opportunities and a compromised quality of life. You might ask, why should we care? How does poverty affect those of us who are not impoverished? Well, let's delve into that. Imagine a world where every individual is an integral cog in the wheel of global progress. Each of us, in our own capacity, has a role to play in the grand scheme of things. When a significant portion of the world's population is trapped in the clutches of poverty, it hinders this progress. It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. Economically, poverty leads to an unstable market. When a large chunk of the population can't afford to buy goods or services, businesses suffer. There's less demand, profits drop, and in turn, fewer jobs are created. It's a vicious cycle. And it doesn't stop at national borders. In our globalized economy, a dip in one country can ripple across oceans, impacting markets worldwide. Poverty is also a hotbed for political unrest. When basic needs are unmet, frustration grows. This frustration can lead to social instability, protests, and in severe cases, civil unrest or even war. Such conflicts don't respect borders either. They disrupt international relations, trade, and can even lead to humanitarian crises that demand global attention and resources. Moreover, poverty limits opportunities for education and personal growth. This means a vast pool of potential innovators, leaders, scientists, artists, and thinkers remain untapped. Their talents and ideas, which could have been instrumental in solving global issues, are lost to the world. And let's not forget that poverty exacerbates environmental issues. Struggling to survive, impoverished communities often resort to unsustainable practices, such as deforestation or overfishing. These actions contribute to climate change and biodiversity loss, problems that affect us all, regardless of our economic status. So you see, poverty is not just someone else's problem. It's a global issue, a shared burden that affects each one of us, directly or indirectly. In an interconnected world, global poverty impacts us all. The fight against poverty is not a lost cause. There are numerous successes we can learn from. Our collective efforts have already been transforming lives and communities, proving that poverty is not an inevitable fate. Let's consider the example of Bangladesh, a nation that was once synonymous with extreme poverty. Through a combination of microfinance initiatives, agricultural innovations, and a focus on women's empowerment, Bangladesh has made remarkable strides in poverty reduction. Today, it stands as a beacon of hope in the fight against poverty, showcasing that change is indeed possible when we adopt comprehensive and inclusive strategies. And then there is Brazil, a country that has made significant headway in the fight against poverty through its Bolsa Familia program. This initiative provides financial aid to poor families, with the condition that their children attend school and get vaccinated. By linking financial support to education and health, Brazil has not only reduced poverty, but also fostered a healthier, more educated future generation. In Africa, too, we see the power of successful poverty reduction strategies. For instance, in Ethiopia, the Productive Safety Net program has helped millions escape the clutches of poverty. This initiative provides food or cash to households that are unable to feed themselves, ensuring that no one goes hungry. In the United States, the Earned Income Tax Credit has been a game changer. This refundable tax credit for low to moderate income working individuals and couples, particularly those with children, has lifted millions out of poverty. These success stories are not isolated instances. They are proof that when we focus on empowering people, fostering education, and ensuring basic rights, we can make a significant dent in poverty. They remind us that the fight against poverty is a fight for human dignity, for opportunity, and for a better future. These success stories show that change is possible and within our reach. We just need to keep pushing forward, keep innovating, and keep believing in the power of collective action. Because the fight against poverty is not just about numbers or statistics. It's about people. It's about us. Now, you might wonder, what can I do to help? Well, there are numerous ways you can join the fight against poverty. A simple yet effective method is to support charities that work tirelessly to alleviate poverty. Giving is not always about money. You can donate your time, skills, or even your old clothes. Another powerful tool at your disposal is your voice. Advocate for policies that promote economic equality and poverty reduction. Write to your local representatives, participate in peaceful protests, or use your social media platforms to raise awareness about the reality of poverty. Lastly, educate yourself and others about the causes and effects of poverty. Empathy and understanding are crucial in this fight. Share documentaries, articles, and stories that shed light on this pressing issue. Remember, every action counts. Together, we can make a difference.